something that's been bugging me for forever. I just had to go to the... what is it? Brain died. Oh, okay, sorry. My brain is not working. I should probably do my intro. Hello, my name is Tenke. I always put in time, so my art is no longer a crime. Today we're back at it like a good habit. Well, I guess I could say back at it like we're back at it like a good habit, back at it like a bad habit. What I used to say, I completely forgotten. My glove's getting kind of messed up. I need to get this switched out. It came with this tablet, and I have some other ones that I was using. They're like on tracky or whatever. These were nice, but they're kind of floppy and they're a little too big. This one's just like, and they're really thick material too. This one's like nice and thin, and it like fits me perfectly. I know, I gotta shop around and see if I can't find, like, look at the difference between this one I've worn way less than this one, and this one is still like tight, and you can see a little bit of like the elastic around the wrist a little bit. This one, nothing. It's a much better quality glove. I need to figure out where to get some more of these because this one's starting to kind of stretch and do all sorts of fun stuff. It's probably not going to be working for too much longer, but that's okay. We're doing this back to where art. What kind of art? That's what we're doing. We're arting. That's what we're doing. Alright, I did some work off stream. I finally settled on making this color white because I put in like a really light blue when I didn't like it, and also I'm basing it off of like that really light blue doesn't fit anywhere except for other than like the tears of the bees, but I feel like with the overall like color aesthetic, white fit better there. Actually, honestly, maybe that purple color would fit well, but that doesn't really work for like a portal. I guess maybe it might. I don't know. It's white, purple, and like this kind of darkish blue and black are the colors we got to work with. I did some work yesterday. I fixed up the shading a little bit on the face, as well as some of like the line art coloring. I did the eyes. I was working yesterday, so... Well, I did the iris colors, I should say. I was working yesterday, so I just did all this. Well, I had some time. It was nice. Hello. How you doing, Red Narrow Bird? Good to see you. Good to see you. How you been? How you been? But yeah, I did a little bit off line yesterday, and today I wanted to hit the scissors because that's what. Yeah, I finished up the hair too. I got this bit right here. I'm not crazy about it. I need to fix this up. I don't like this light part. I think I might get rid of that. I understand there being kind of like a light part in here, but I think I might need to switch up because right now, because what I originally did was like, I'll just kind of like do a layer. I was gonna like lighten up and then get darker and then I come back. But it looks like I've deliberately done that. And now it looks kind of goofy to me, if I'm going to be honest. So we got to fix that up a bit. And now I'm just noticing some things on this bead that I got to shave properly. And that's going to bother me, but that's alright. Let's see. Doing good. I believe I told you about Happy Friday, my mind. Also finally caught up with my life. Also the BGM was like, oh yeah, right. I need to check the sound. 1 second. Oh wow, you're right. That is really loud. Holy guacamole. Oh my god. Let's turn this down to like here. Alright. Talking. Doing a test and talking. talking. Fucking jump scare from the acoustic. My mic seems really low. Either that or this is just still really loud. I'm gonna turn this down more. Holy cow. Okay, hold on. Let me let everything clear out so it doesn't accidentally, like... My brain is not working so it doesn't accidentally start looping. I forgot about that. Let's try this again. What do we got? What do we got? Wow, it's still really loud. Holy cow. Oh wow. Oh, actually, hold on. This is really far behind. Yeah. That's a little too low. Let's put it up to here now. Alright, hold on. Start looping. Alright, let's see it. Seems fine now. Yeah, okay, there we go. Perfect. Alright, let me know if it's too loud or too quiet. Alright, there we go. There we go. But I'm glad you're doing good. I actually need to turn this down a little bit for myself. I worked an extra shift yesterday, which is why I did not stream. That and there was a stream I wanted to watch. Although that started at like 9. But I worked an 8-hour shift that got done at 8 p.m. And there was a stream I wanted to watch at 9, so I was like, I'm not streaming. I work from home, so wasn't that big of a deal. But still. Oh yeah, I changed the little question marks for these bees. I didn't like how they were before. They seemed kind of weird. So I made them a little bit more like clouds, and I took away the little thing at the bottom. So it looked a little bit more like he's like, what? Alright, and I might have to redo some of these. Some of this shading. We'll see. What I really want to do is focus on the scissors today. And there's one thing I noticed is that... Actually, no, I didn't. Okay, I was thinking I had, like, done them wrong, but I have not. Yay! I was thinking that I'm on the wrong layer. I was thinking that this side right here was the sharp side, but it's this side, so it's not that big of a deal. I actually did get it right. Yay! Okay. Alright. So that means the actual, like, scissor section themselves isn't too bad. So we just need, like, base color, we need a lighter color, and then we need, like, a darker color. Also, there's going to be a lot of, like, weird lighting that's going to be on these. Because we have this pure white void that's just spewing light. So, lighting is going to be fun. Tomorrow mom goes back to the dentist, so I'm going to be a little worried for her. I also, of course, have the possible friend on my mind. Maybe we'll talk tomorrow. Cool, yeah, maybe we will. Is mom just going back to, like, catch up? Or is it, like, for another procedure? Or is it just, like, to check the procedure and see how it went? Oh wait, hold on. I need to be on the right layer here. Scissors main color, here we go. Add that. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. And then this one I just do need to be darker. And maybe slightly more polar purple, 75. I'll bring this down to a 55. And a touch more purple. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. That's going to be the darker color. And then there's going to be... This actually needs to be even lighter. So we'll bring this from a 75 to a 95. And I want to go a little bit more purple with this as well. See how this side looks. There we go. I'm actually not sure. I think readjust because she said something like that. Gotcha. Now here's the weird part. How is this light going to be bouncing off of this blade? Because it's cutting through. So I imagine like some light's going to be like going off like this. And there's going to be like an even like lighter tone there. But it's actually going to be kind of cutting through maybe like that a little bit. And there's also going to be light that's spilling out from over here. Let me see how this looks. Ah, that's not what I wanted. Okay, now the filter will work. Nope, it doesn't want to. She also has been in pain, kind of obviously, but the more I think about it, the more I worry for her pain because it's gonna hurt more. It will. But that's just kind of how things go. Whenever you're getting like stuff like that done, it's gonna be pain, but it'll eventually be worth it. Just because something hurts doesn't mean it's bad. Up to 215. Okay. And then even lighter. I don't like this color at all. Wait, it's because it's no different. Wait, it's totally different. But like barely. I think I need to go a little bit towards the white. Well, now it just looks gray. What is happening? Hold on. Let's go back to this color here. All right. There we go, okay. Slight, but it's actually noticeable there. Alright, man, all this stuff has a little more purple in it, and it makes this color look way more gray than it did before, but it's actually like a little purple itself. The fun part is this is also metal, so it's going to have like weird shininess to it. I haven't quite figured out how to shade metal. It's kind of hard. And then I think I want to use this. I think I want to use this darker color right here along the rest of this blade. So it's like it looks like. I'm not saying it's bad, as I probably said before. I'm really proud of her and excited to see the finished results. It's stressful. She has to be an anxious mess, and just trying to hide it. I know I'm overthinking like I always do, but I don't think it's bad, at least to worry a little. Yeah, that's fine. In these moments, it's always best to focus on how things will be rather than are. So it'll be better eventually, but it's gonna be kind of stinky for right now. Stuff I need to fix around there for sure. Alright. And then there's going to be this lighter color. It's going to be like around here and around here. And I think around here a bit and there. And then around, excuse me. No, not quite there. Around here. Yeah, there we go. Man, I love shading. It always makes everything look so much more alive. A little bit there. There's gonna be some darker parts too. That's true, but when life is making full 180 on you, it's kind of hard not to think of the present. Yeah, I understand that. But another way to think about it is it's not making a full 180 just yet. Things are just changing a bit. Why do I don't have this color anymore? Okay. Things are just changing a bit. Not completely. Change is good. Yeah. Oh, this song has some Stardew Valley vibes. That's because it is a... Wait. Is this a Stardew Valley song? Wait, hold on. Or is this from a different... Is this from like Animal Crossing or something? I don't remember. I've been heavily thinking about writing. Maybe not journaling, but just writing. Maybe getting into lyricism or something. For some reason, I just have the urge to do. Actually, that's a really good idea. If ever you got too much going on in your head, writing it down in any way, even if it's just like something creative or whatnot, just to get it out of your noggin, is always going to help out. Just letting that stuff fester in there, well, it'll do just that. Fester and grow into something. But it's no longer in your head, no longer taking up space. Then you can have other stuff in your brain. I don't know if that was the best way for me to say that, but go ahead. Most of the changes I'm going through are just messing me up emotionally and mentally. The only major one being the dental work, but I've also had some other ones that I've explained and are still ongoing. But I think I know what you mean. Yeah. Change happens. It's always going to be a little tough. Just don't keep it bottled up. Because that's when it just stays with you. Actually, there's going to be like some bounce light going off right there. So there's actually going to be a little bit lit up on this side. Gotta love metal. So easy. The fun part is going to be making this look like metal afterwards. Although it is kind of looking like it already. It's more just looking like it has shading on it. I don't know how to get like that kind of like metally quality to it. It's like almost like a graininess. I don't know how to describe it. Oh. The real fun part is going to be... I messed around with this before. And another art I was doing. I don't think I've ever done that one on stream though. There's one piece I've done for a Miss Shiori novella over at Hololive. I don't think I've ever worked on that on stream. Or actually, no, I have. I remember a couple times I've done that. That was a long time ago. That was like last year. And I had quite a bit of, well, not quite a bit of metal, but especially had like some metal parts with like her like hairpin and whatnot. And that one was getting me. Less than trying to, well, actually no, I do need to figure out how other people do it right now, so I can find some way that I like to do it. Maybe there's like a little bit of like blending, because one thing I found that I was doing over here is that I never really liked this shading, and I couldn't figure out why. But then I haven't done this everywhere, and I need to do this everywhere. But then I went over here, and I think I have a little. And I grabbed this tool. Yeah, and I like turned it like way down, and I just like blurred these hard edges a bit. Look how much better that looks. Look how much better that looks, even from like a distance. Like, little blurred over here, not blurred over here. It actually looks more like a shadow rather than I put a different color there. And that's the thing that's kind of been that's really been like bothering me about a lot of my shading, is it just looks like there's a different color there rather than it's actually like a shadow. But this helps a lot. Just a real light little blur. There we go. Look at that. I think it might be why I just vent, even if it's nothing serious, but feels serious. Yeah. We all need a vent. This might be the final thing that I do. Go through and just blur all of this a little bit. Look at that, so much better. I like that so much better. Okay. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. Also, I gotta redo pretty much all the lighting on her, because now I have this huge spotlight over here. I started a little bit yesterday, but I need to do the lighting on the back legs and shoes and whatnot. It's alright. We get there. We get there. These little, like, bits and bobs in the middle are going to be real interesting. Because this metal is kind of matte. It's not really that shiny. I guess kind of like real scissors. It's going to use a pretty dull metal. This maybe isn't the best option, but even just like a regular pair of scissors, it's going to be lower quality metal, so it's going to be not that shiny. So it's not going to reflect a whole lot. So it's going to be, well, it still reflects way more than average, but it's not going to be something like coppery, kind of like these, which are going to have much more, which should be much more distinct in what they reflect. I think that's probably a way of saying it. I don't know if that's quite correct, but at least that's the way that I interpret it. Alright. And then a little bit of that there. I think that's... Now the real question is... Now we need to do a little bit more along here. There we go. I've also been playing a lot of Monster Hunter. I did that for hours yesterday. I worked an extra shift yesterday, but I worked from home. But one of the nice things is that it's Saturday, and even though my job is technically, there are technically people that do work on Saturdays. We had like this big every once in a while my job will do this thing on the tech side. Well, they will simulate a mass failure of all of our systems and what it would take to get them back online. And for that, they always need extra tech people on hand just so we can, like, for approvals and just in case something else happens, or just in case people call in being like, hey, this thing that I'm used to using at this time, it just isn't working. And we can be like, yeah, that's because we're doing this big test right now. They're like, oh, I need to do this. Well, you can't. Tough luck. Deal with it. So, but, I mean, it's all day. I worked an 8-hour shift and had maybe 2 calls. So I spent the entire day just playing Monster Hunter. I am HR 80, and I'm actually taking time to make a decent build, which is something I almost never do. I usually just kind of get the parts that I like. Well, I do actually take time to make a build. I did in Rise, but it was really just like a part breaker build. But now I'm even taking time to get all the little decorations and stuff. Although those take forever because they're just random RNG. Geesh. Let's see, I might be... I'm probably gonna go and just blast music in my ears. Thanks for chatting and have a good night, stream. YouTube. See you later, Red Narrow Bird. Bye. Actually HR like 83 or something like that. Anyways, I'm up there. I'm trying to actually get like, oh, what is it? There's one like kind of broken build that's going around right now. And it's using like weakness exploit and flare, a little bit of burst. It's also using like, what is it, maximum might, the one where you get more affinity if you have... It's basically a crit build. That's what it boils down to. I'm not going to do full that because the weapon I like to use, which is Insect Glaive, if I was to make the full use out of that build, I would never be able to jump around or do anything, which is dumb. So, we're not going with that. But I'm starting to see results. What is it? I killed a frenzied Yan Kutku in like 2 minutes. I was like, oh shit. Although that's nothing for like frenzied monsters. Like they're bugged right now. Or something. And they have like no health. So killing one in 2 minutes while using its elemental weakness against it is kind of not that big of a deal. But should I add a fourth color in here? Do we need like an even darker color? No, because things are gonna be pretty light around in here. These are gonna be fun. These are gonna be so fun. I'm so looking forward to them. Oh my god, it's gonna be great. Actually, I probably need to erase this in here because all of the like extra bits and baubles and bangles needs to be done with shading. So let me go back up to this layer. It's time to erase. Yay! All the extra bitmos, bangaboos, and bobblegacks. What is this? I don't want to erase more than I need. What are the... Oh, those are probably spaces that just never got filled in. I see now. Alright, same thing right there. Oh wait, and down here a bit too. Well, I want to leave those because I'm gonna need to having to like refigure out where those positions are is not gonna be great. Okay. But these are going to be pretty easy. I just have to go back around to where they are. Just a little. Here we go. Also, I think that I wanted to watch yesterday, which is the reason why I didn't stream, was out of nowhere, just kind of on Friday, or was it Thursday, the Shiori novella dropped that she was collabing with Gerard from Hollow Stars and Yofi, which is something everybody kind of expected, but at some point. But it took her like, oh god, like a year and a half almost to set up. I think Liz probably helped her out a bit with that. I don't know. The Hollow Knight fan base is so weird. And I guess to an extension, like a lot of other like agency VTubers for the most part. Like indie VTubers was probably some, but for agency VTubers, there's like, not all, but there's a lot of like parasocialism, and there's a bunch of like male fans that will just turn on you. Like the second they collab with like another male, it's like, oh my god, she's cheating on me. It's so weird. And it was something that yeah, I'd heard about stuff like that on like the Japanese side and whatnot, because of like the whole like idol culture. I get that. So, well, I don't really get it, but I understand why that would be a thing, because it was culturally a thing beforehand. So the fact that it would continue and translate over here makes sense. It's not great that it does, but you can at least see where it came from. However, I always thought it was weird that that was a thing on the EN side as well. That didn't make any sense to me. Because that's not a thing over here. Like, the gender of the person that somebody collabs with just doesn't matter, at least for the most part. I can see some fans being weird about it. Especially for like people who may be like non-binary or trans, but who cares? Honestly, who cares? But yeah. But she just kind of dropped that, and it was right after, I think she did this on purpose. I think she was testing the waters a bit. But it was right after Shori kind of dropped in another stream that she used to watch Magni and Vesper, who aren't there anymore. They left and graduated. I might need to do some more racing. But I think that was her testing the waters and being like, oh yeah, what was it they used to say? Oh yeah, because it was like right after that stream, which I think was on Thursday, that she's like, oh, by the way, I'm collabing with Gerard and Yofi on Saturday. And I didn't think, at least I didn't see a whole lot of like people going crazy. Actually, I think I'm going to keep this. Now I'm going to change the color of this line. But I didn't see a whole lot of people going like cray-cray. So I was like, maybe people have gotten better. And lo and behold, apparently there was a bunch, and she was banning people left and right. But that looks weird. 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 I don't really like that. That looks weird. But I only really saw like a couple posts that got highlighted where people were laughing at these people. But for the most part, everybody was very supportive, which is nice. I mean, I watch Battle and Ruse, so I'm all for them collabing more. Especially since a lot of them are super talented, but they kind of get shafted by the company because they don't bring in as much money. But I really think they just need better. I really think the company's kind of shooting themselves in the foot with that. Because I think if they advertise them a little bit better, a lot of people would see that they're pretty great. Yeah, but at the same time, they're a business, so I gotta go where the money is. And the money is definitely on the girls' side. That's for sure. Like, what was it? Another thing that happened on Friday was that Nimi, I almost said Fauna. Nimi had her like 8-hour charity stream. Bro, she raised like over $350,000 in 8 hours. That's crazy. But Like, and all of that, one thing that was kind of missed at the very beginning was she was like, and I'm going to be making like my own donation of $20,000 to this different charity. And I'm thinking to myself, hold on a second. Hold on a second. How much money did you make in Hololive where you can just drop $20K on a donation? Excuse me? Holy cow. That's one of those things that's got to be like, man, how do you leave that? Like, if you're not happy or satisfied, how do you leave that? Well, I mean, like, what is it? I remember around this time last year. Was it around this time? I don't remember. But, Mume, she did, like, a PFP drawing stream where it's like, alright, I will draw your profile picture. If you do, like, a certain donation, I'm only going to leave, like, if you do, like, super chats of a certain level, I'm only going to leave them open for, like, so long, though, so... you gotta be quick. But she accidentally left him open for like 5 minutes, and I think made almost 40K in like 5 minutes. So she left him open for way too long, first of all. And she had like 400 that she needed to draw. She like just finished them like... She like just finished them like earlier this month. Like, it was like right before Fest or right after Fest. No, it was right before Fest, I think. She had a stream where she finished them. And she had to do like a bunch off stream too, just because there was so many to do, like almost a year later. Crazy. So those are, however, like extreme examples. But I know, what was it? Coco and Rushia. Coco once made like, and this is not an exaggeration, she once made over $1 million in a stream just from like super chats. That's not even an exaggeration. Actually, what is this? Let's see. YouTube most super chatted streams record. Oh my god. Here we go. Yeah. So whew. Let's see. Of the top 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Of the top 10, 6 are Hololive people. Let's see. There's 2 pastors that are 1 and 2. And then there's Rushia, who made, oh my god, I was wrong. I said it was over $1 million. But Rushia made over 3 million. Like almost 3.3 million in one stream. Then it's Pecora, she made just over 3 million. And there's Coco, who made just shy of 3 million, like 2,950,000. And there's Marine, who's just above 2.8 million. And there's Aqua, who's just above 2.5, and then Kanata, who's just above 2.4. That's crazy. And then in the top 15, you add 3 more. That's crazy. And then if you go to the top 20, you add 4 more. Whoa! Sorry, I had no idea Mori had almost made $2 million in one stream once. Same for Kiara. Holy cow. Wow. Kaison's on here twice. Oh my god. Gura's in the top 50. Wow. And so is Fubuki? Holy cow. Most of these people are VTubers. Whoa! Okay. That explains it. That explains it. Fauna's in the top 100. She's one shy of the top 75 with almost 900k in one stream. When was that? When was that? Was that on her graduation date? I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. Well, that's views. Well, now I'm curious. Oh wait, is this just total, like, super chats? Oh, this is just like total super chats. Okay, I see now. Okay. Well, now I'm just... Okay, so that was just total in super chats. Not like how much they made in one stream. I see. Still, to be in the top 100 of those, and that's just super chats. That's not even like... Excuse me. That's not even like the base salary they get, or my brain is not working. That's not even the base salary they get, or doesn't count like merch or memberships in there or anything like that. So that is before like taxes and everything. But there's a pretty good chance Fauna made well over $1 million while in Hololive. In fact, I would say it's probably... That's very good, because even though YouTube takes a third and then Cover takes a third, which is usually how it goes. So even if she's only getting a third of like all of that, it's still like it's still around like 300k in just super chats, which is crazy. Over like 4 years, plus everything else. Yeah, she made a lot of money. Gura probably is a millionaire. That's crazy. VTubers, man. Did I get on this? I don't remember. Oh yeah, Fauna just casually dropped 20k on. Fauna just casually dropped 20k on a charity. I was like, oh my god. It was said so quick too. I had no idea where she got that kind of skosh, but she does. Alright. That's crazy. These things are going to bother the heck out of me. You can't tell that they're not synced. They're not even. Unless you zoom in, it doesn't matter. I feel like for especially for the scissors, these lines need to be a lot skinnier. We'll see how everything looks. I'll add in the whatever it is. My brain refuses to work today. I can't think. I'll add in the. Actually, what border color am I going to use? Okay, let's think about this. Let's see how this looks now, rather than later. Let's grab you, make you a bit lighter. Go up to 2. Actually, no, I'm gonna use that light color that I had right here. That's lighter than this, right? Nope, same color. Where was that color? Okay, well I guess we will grab this color. Oh, that's because that was the lightest color. I remember now. I can't see. 115, okay. So 135. And then go even more towards the white. Okay. Let's see how this looks. No. You know what? No. Let me just go with this color. Okay, yeah. That's what we're going to do. Rather than just erasing all or a bunch of these lines, I'm just going to hide them like this. And there we go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Yeah, because I feel like this especially, it does need like something like really, really, like, it's kind of hard to see here, but there's like, well, no. Maybe looking at it down here is, yeah, there is like a little bit, there's like a really like very fine line. But I think it's going to be a lot easier if I do that, and then no, that's that same color. And then this is at 108, so let's bring it down to like 98 or 88, and then go a little more purple. Okay, what if I just go like really subtle around the edges? Let's make my brush a little bit smaller, because some differentiation between this in the background is going to be good. But it's got to be real subtle. Okay, I actually do like that. Even this zoomed in, it looks better. Yeah, and it's real subtle too, which is good. Subtle but there. Oh, this is so much easier than erasing everything. Yay! Which is what I've done in the past by just like manually making all the lines shorter. Which didn't work. FYI. Well, it worked, but it was annoying as fuck. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I think I was talking about like Shioi collabing with the guys. She kind of alluded to her doing that early on, but then like never really like did anything with that. As opposed to like Liz, who just came out and was like, oh my gosh, who just came out and was like, yeah, I enjoy a lot of the male talents as well, which is cool. So she actually had like some precedent there. So when she eventually did do a collab with the guys, no one batted an eye, really. Because, yeah, that's what should be done. I think people assumed for a while that Shioi would do. I think people assumed for a while that Shioi was going to do that on the EN side, but then she didn't. And now people are all up in arms. Well, I guess not a lot of people. There's a very few like people scattered here and there that were up in arms, but most people are happy about it. So much so that she had 10K viewership for pretty much the entire time during that stream yesterday. Which is good. I think that's going to be good for... I think it's going to be good for especially the EN side of Hollow. Especially the EN side. Because, let's see. Other girls have been saying like, yeah, I'd like to hang out with them a little bit. Especially if they like hang out a bit behind the streams. Like, you know what, maybe I would like to do a collab here and there. But they've been worried about their fan base. I think Liz has been a very good... Because I think there was a lot of pushback about that back in the day. With like Maggie and Vesper, and especially with like Crony. Not so much with Bae. I don't know why. I'll think probably with Bae. But I think Bae talked about how... Yeah, I think Bae talked in her debut about how she watched like Olga and I think Astel. So when she eventually did do like a collab with some of the guys, no one batted an eye because like, okay, yeah, no. I think, but there was stuff with Crony where she didn't really talk about that, but then she started hanging out with Maggie and Vesper, and all of a sudden, I wasn't there for this, but apparently a whole bunch of people like turned on her and things got kind of like bad there for a bit. I think the fan base has changed a lot since then, because that was years ago. It was like that was like 2 years ago, which is an eternity in like streamer and especially VTuber years, since they've only been around since 2017. But I think Liz has helped a lot because she's just been very open about it and hasn't really affected her numbers at all. It was kind of like that extra point of contact. And I think a lot of people, especially some of the newer fans, just really are not having that kind of attitude. Like, me, I'm not having that attitude. That's crazy. I come from watching, like, YouTubers and Let's Players. Like, why would I care? They're all, like, boys, girls, yeah, whoever. In between everything, collabs with each other, and no one gives a flying fuck. But that's only a thing in the YouTuber space. And maybe, like, maybe in some niche other places, but I've only ever really seen it in the YouTuber space. That would be a crazy thing. A crazy thing to say in, like, a Let's Play channel, for instance. To go in and be like, oh my god, why did you have this one guy on your video? Like, he's a male, blah, 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 blah. That would be an insane thing to put. There's probably people that do that, but nobody cares about that stuff for the most part, which is why I was so like, why is this a thing in the West? Like, really? We don't have a culture of this at all on any other side of the internet. So why is this a thing here? I don't understand this. But it was. And it's totally breaking down even amongst, like, JP. So because there's a bunch of talents that you would think, oh my god, they would never, oh my god, they're perfect idols, how would they, male? But they have, what is it, Fubuki, Toa, I know for sure, Azuki. Fubuki was one of the first. She was like, oh hey, new people. It was very welcoming. Which is good for her. Alright, I'm liking what I'm doing here a lot. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep going with this. So I think we're probably gonna... The door got opened a little bit more, and I think we're probably going to start seeing more collabs here soon, which is going to be good. Because, man, I tell you what, the boys have always kind of lagged behind the girls. Like, what is it? I only really have, like, the Justice to go off of, but they, like, each started with, like, 200k subscribers on YouTube. That's where they started. Like, before their debuts. Meanwhile, the boys will grind for a year or years and years and struggle to get to 200k. I think Gerard hit 100k around the time that Justice was debuting. I remember that was a thing because he was like, oh my gosh, I did it. And then Liz, like, congratulated him on Twitter, and he was like, thanks, it was a lot of hard work. And that's literally the entire interaction. And then people being like, she has a bigger channel than her, why are you talking to her like, she has a bigger channel than you, why are you talking to her like, you know, but a bunch. Is like, bro, she just got here. She started off with 200k. This dude had to grind for like a year to get it. Like, of course he could talk about this. Besides, channel size doesn't mean anything. There are people who have very small channels that are probably some of the most talented people on the platform, but just look at the people who've like popped off recently, like is it like Pirate Software and people like that. But yeah. But back around when I was not there for it. But back around when Stars EN first came about, it was a bunch more collabs between. It was mostly with like Magni and Vesper, but then all the stuff with them happened. No one knows what that was. And then they just kind of fell off. I think those two were just really good at like reaching out and making friends. Or maybe everybody else reached out to them. Who knows? We'll never know. We were never there. We weren't there. So, but yeah. I say all this to say, I don't really know what I'm saying. I just think things are going to be changing soon. Hopefully for the better. I think it's starting with Liz. There we go. I think it started with Liz. It's going to move to Shiori. It's probably not going to be, it's definitely not going to be everybody, that's for sure. But it's going to be more people, and it's going to be good for the boys especially. Because they've been struggling for a while. And especially with the recent stuff with like them not being on stage for Six Fest or like at least any of the stream stages. Like I think they've been feeling kind of pushed to the side a little bit, so a little bit of extra juice in the tank is gonna be good. Gerard's 3D debut is tonight. I wanted to watch that. I watched Ruse. I did not watch Gibby's because I don't really watch him. But, so, it's like, sorry, man. I do want to watch Gerard's. Oh, wait, hold on. Some people very much doubt. Some people who'd be really funny if they collabed. But like what was it? There was a thread on Twitter that was a while ago. I'll never forget this. That was like, hey, who would you like to see collab between Stars and Live? And someone put down Axel and Fumoko. Oh, and everyone was like, listen, I realize they're all dogs, but this is an incredibly cursed collab. Axel, Mr. Dick and Balls, Von Destroyer. Mixed with Fuaboko. Sorry, the vibes aren't there, bro. But that would be a really funny be very entertaining the same way a car crashes. What? Oh, I got the wrong color. Better. Probably won't see any changes for a while, though. Mostly because just at the end of the day, we just don't really know each other, so. And reaching out to someone and being like, hey, we've never met. Do you want to hang out for a couple hours? Is not something that people do normally. So, yeah. Especially since, let's see, there's gonna be people with who are gonna have more. And some people who are gonna have it's probably gonna be some people who are gonna have more parasocial fan bases than Shiori. And they're probably very worried about something like that, which is understandable. Where is that? You can't see that. Literally, you can't see what that is. That's impossible to see. No one's ever seen that. This. So it's one of those things like it's one of those we'll see moments. But anything that improves things for the guys, I'm all there for. Speaking of which, I need to be watching the time. There we go. Alright. Am I Okay, one thing I just realized is that little line that I did like right around here. Oh, where's the color I used for that? Was it this one or was it this one? I think it was this one, yeah. Alright, I'm gonna need to do that like kind of everywhere. Am I in the right layer? Yeah. So subtle, but it's so worth it. It just adds like the tiniest bit of depth. Okay. Because I've made art before where I just like took out the line art altogether. I was not a fan. I think I like this better though. Or I kind of leave the line art in, and then I like hide it, but I do like just like this little like darker line around to kind of give a little bit of extra depth. I really like this. That makes it look a lot better. Oh, I need to fix this around in here. One moment. This is so detailed, and I'm not even properly shading it yet. Goodness gracious. Art hard. I'm on the wrong layer. That's why I'm having such issues. Okay. Art hard. Wrong color. What that? Okay, is that that? Yes, it is that. Okay. Good. Good. You've killed me. Good. Sorry. I'll never get over that. If you haven't, go watch like a best of Game Grumps compilation, and that scene from the Zelda CDI game where like kills a guy, or he like defeats a boss, and there's like a cutscene and he goes, "Oh, you've killed me," and like just goes, "Good." It's so funny. They spent so long making fun of it. But it is legitimately a super funny thing to say. It's permanently a part of. No, wrong color. Oh god, that's permanently a part of who I am as a person. You've killed me. Good. I love what I've just discovered and I'm doing. It makes everything I'm drawing look just 10 times just 10 times better. By adding just the tiniest bit of depth, There we go. There we go. I really like this. Now I just need to get in the habit of just... I would make my life a lot easier if I just used a pen that was this small to begin with. Although, I never want to because... it's like, you can't... It's hard to add, like... different, like, line weights and stuff like that when you're using a super tiny pen. So I think this might just be something that I have to do. There's gotta be a faster way to do something like this, rather than just going over absolutely everything. There's gotta be a better way. Like no one ever was. There's gotta be a better way to do this. That looks so much better though. Alright. Just gonna fix that up just a tiniest bit. It makes it look so much better. So much better in every way. So much better. I don't really know what to say. So much better. So much better in every way. I think this is only really a thing for metal, though. Like, normal lines are not going to have these issues. At least I would think. I would hope. Please let that be the case. Oh, it's 30, okay. I need to be thinking here, because I gotta get going right at, like, right before 10. I need to stream more next week. People need to stop. My biggest problem as a streamer is that people keep scheduling streams that I want to watch during the time where I stream. That's not cool, bro. That's not cool. Not cool. Oh my god, I am sweating in this sweater. Where are these? Alright, I gotta get rid of some shank. Wait, no, hold on. Let me fix more things. 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 Okay, because all of these. Alright, that's also going to fix the issue I had with that, like, really tiny lines. Also going to fix the issue that I was having with the cutoff in between these two different types of metal. I was like, well, what are we putting here? I don't know. Actually, hold on. This needs to be more like... Okay, there we go. Perfect. Because that's going to be all that, like, that kind of, like, bronzy goldish, whatever it is. Bronzy gold. Okay, and then I need to make sure I get all of these perfect. Aww. This might be okay. This got me thinking. What is like? What do you think is the most recognizable video game song of all times? This one's up there. This one's probably in the top 10, I would say. Easy. I don't know if it's the most recognizable. I think the Mario theme probably is. But this song especially is so nostalgic. Oh man, listening to this song is like listening to, oh, what is it? Like, the Song of the Shire. Like the song that they use whenever they're like introducing the Shire in Lord of the Rings. This has the same effect on me. Even though I didn't play, this was originally came out in, I want to say, Ocarina of Time. I never played that game. But it's just been like, or at least this version of it. But it's just been present in pretty much like every Legend of Zelda properly. Since the beginning in some way or another. Is that up here? Where are those lines? I don't understand. They're not here. What? Where are those lines? They're not there. Okay. Okay, so are they on the main colors? Yeah, they're still there. They're on the main colors. Okay. Wait, are they on the main colors? I'm literally putting my finger on my screen so I could look at what the pixel is. No, they are not on the main colors. They are above that. But they have to be up here. Ah, no, what did I just do? Okay, so they have to be up here on this layer then. Okay, are there something that needs to be erased up here? No. Where are those? Okay. Yeah, it has to be something. It's a layer that's above this. Okay, so hold on. Let's go back up to here. This. I don't. What in the heck? Are they just like? You know what I think they are. You know what it is? They're a hole. There's never been anything on these. So there are bits, so it's the bits from way down below, like the black layer that's underneath everything that are shining through. I see now, okay. Because those are driving me crazy. There we go, much better. And there's some that are up here too. There we go. Now is that the same thing that's happening here? Okay, so if that's the case, then I need to come down here to the hair color and hit this right here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay, and then we come up here and we hit this, and we need to come up here and we use the eraser to get rid of this. Try to make my eraser a little bit bigger. Okay, no, yeah, I am the right layer. Alright, next time, I've accidentally put things that are underneath all this blue, but next time I need to make these really big colors need to be the bottom layers. Now I know how to do this. Things that take up a lot of space, those are on the bottom. Things that take up just a little bit of space, those are on the top. Now I know how to do this. and then I want to grab this. I want to come back here, go up to here, and I want to... Nope. When I hit this color, I think it is. Is it this one? Nope. I gotta turn this back on. That's what's going on. Man, this is especially necessary here. Holy cow. Wait, no, that's the same color as there. It's this color. It's this one. Yep, it's this color. This needs to be a slightly different color. Yeah, it needs to be a slightly different color than that inner color. Well, it needs to be darker than that for sure. So it actually like stands out against it. Provides that much needed distinction. Oh my god, that's so much better. Damn, this is what I should have been doing from the beginning. Ooh, and this color's actually gonna look really nice against this black. It's gonna be a little bit lighter. Hello. Much better. I spent all this time on just this. I get way too detailed. But I like it though. I would like to be able to do art faster. So that means I should really be thinking of ways to do this a little bit better. Like, I think it's actually going to be a lot easier in the future if I just do my line art super thin. Because then I can actually like add thickness as I go, rather than having to like re-add it later. That'll save me a lot of time, because having to like redraw over everything like this is time consuming. It just is. It's necessary for the piece, but it's not quite. It's not great. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean, Vern? Who Vern is, I shall never know. I was not made privy to that information. Okay, we're doing this like I should have done from the beginning. And then grabbing this again. There we go. Looking good. A little janky, but looking good. Yeah, it's 44. Oh my god. Alright, now, here's the fun part. It's metal! How do we do metal? I don't know. Also, I didn't do like these bits Don't sue me. I also realize that in some places I have not gone far enough. Will my fuzz method kind of work? Oh wait, I'm on the wrong layer. My fuzz method work? My fuzz method works. I like the fuzz. But one thing I just realized by looking up here, and especially at like this area right here, is that I have not gone far enough over here. This is supposed to be like, no. This is supposed to be like, this is supposed to be like this. Also, I've kind of messed up the dimensions a bit. These should be bigger and a little bit more center. They need to be further down as well. Shoot. I made them big enough over here, but it's just this area right in here where they're kind of just like jank queen, disaster prone. Okay, well let me actually just look at this. Okay, because it goes straight from like the top of here over like straight. Yeah, these need to be moved down on both sides. Shoot. Well, these are pretty easy to move, thankfully. Because I need to be like... I need to be like right there-ish, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because then... Yeah. Okay, that little bit of darkness being there is good. I think it's gonna have to... I think it's gonna have to do, because it'd be way too big of a rework to get everything else going. But then... that brings... everything up here into... shoot. Because this thing, it adds is like a... Okay, so this little star right here is kind of like... Everything is built off of that, but it doesn't have to be perfectly like round. It's impossible, actually, now that I look at it. So, now that I'm actually looking at it, this is like pretty straight across. This is Stardew Valley, right? I'm not crazy. Yeah, this is Stardew Valley. Alright, I'm gonna have to do this for both sides. Is this Stardew Valley? No, this isn't Stardew Valley. This is a Nintendo game. This is a Zelda game. Man, I messed up something somewhere. It's a thickness. I'm just gonna have to do okay. Another one of those bots. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna need to take a look at this, I think. I think it's actually kind of like... Maybe more like this, kind of? And then... And then I have like a little bit like that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and then that means that this needs to be made bigger as well. Is this the snow temple from Twilight Princess? It's definitely giving me snow vibes, mostly because of like the wind howling in the background. Alright, I think I'm gonna have to look at this and work on it, maybe a bit off stream, to try to figure out what it is exactly that I want. Also gotta remember the part that is being hit by the light, because it's shining in straight over this way. Okay, but that's already looking a little bit better. I'm gonna have to do the same thing up here. Man, I got a ton I need to fix. Shoot. Alright, well, that's what we're gonna call it for tonight. It's been fun. It's been real. It has been real fun, but it's not quite been fun real. I will be back maybe tomorrow. I think I need to... Tomorrow might be a cooking day, but I have no idea what I want to cook, so... It's kind of where we are. I just thought about ravioli, but at the same time I had spaghetti last week and I don't want to do that again. I don't know. I'll think about it. It was fun. I feel like I learned something, but I need to get to the going. Alright. Y'all have a good one. I will see you later. Peace.